Okay, today we're talking about keyword research, and this is a very common practice, and it's probably the foundational skill all SEOs and all website owners really need to possess. And there's so many people get this wrong, so many business owners get this wrong, and they don't really do the keyword research necessary in order to have their websites found for the most profitable keywords. And the people who do this well are the people who actually win. So today we're going to explore a little bit about how you can do that and get the best keywords for you in order to achieve that. And step one is often just brainstorming, understanding the types of keywords that you might want to be found for. And that's just thinking about your industry, the services that you offer, the types of competitors that you've got, all sorts of things. You're the expert in your industry, so think about the most obvious things within your industry and what you do, and write them down on a piece of paper. That's a really good starting point, because that's where you start really distilling down the types of keywords that you're able to compete for. And when you write those down, you can then start researching using a tool. So that takes you into phase two. So once you identify those seed keywords, those overarching, those big keywords, what you really want to do is understand a little bit more about those keywords that you want to compete for, because you're not necessarily going to be competing for the main keywords that you thought about. They might not be the right keywords. They might not be the keywords that people are searching. So what you need to do is look for the keywords that have got the most search volume but the least competition, and that's the key, and that's often the hardest thing. A lot of the keywords that people are competing for are already being found, and there's very few hidden opportunities, but there are out there, okay, but you just have to search for them and hunt for them a little bit more. So you can use any tool you want for this. You have a choice of either paid or free tools, such as Google Keyword Planner is something that a lot of people use. It's a great little tool that you have for free that will give you an awful lot of data. Of course, Google won't give you all of the data that you would like. It's mainly used for PPC, goes to keyword research for organic, but you can still use it for organic as well. But it doesn't give you as much data as, say, a paid tool such as Ahrefs or SEMrush. SEMrush is probably a tool that most marketers are aware of, and whilst that's quite expensive, it is really worth doing. But what you'll find is that once you put those seed keywords in, you'll get a number of different related seed keywords related to that seed keyword. And so what the trick is then is to identify the keywords that are best for you, the most search volume, but also have the least amount of competition. And that's quite key, because what you also have to realize is that where you are on your journey as a business. So if you're brand new and your website isn't that old, it hasn't got a great deal of trust, and you might be competing against businesses that have got websites who have a lot of years under their belt, okay? And so Google will naturally give those websites a little bit more power, and they might have a little bit more authority, might not be able to compete immediately with those other brands. So what you have to do is you have to understand which lane you're in, and really target the keywords that you're more likely to rank for, because what we want to try and do as a brand is to rank for keywords that are in the top 3. Nowadays, that's where the action is. If you rank at the bottom of page 1, really you're not going to get a great deal of traffic. Another key concept that you also need to consider is that the search engines rank web pages, not web sites. Okay? Each web page that you create is an opportunity for you to rank for a different keyword. So you don't want to stuff everything into the home page, for example. Homepage is going to be your most powerful page more often than not, okay, but you really need to optimize for your brand. Product pages are the service pages, and the blog posts are the areas where you can best use those to optimize for certain keywords that people mostly will be finding you for. Okay, so think about your services, think about the products that you sell, write an article, a category page for each one of those products, and that will give you the best possible chance for you to rank for those specific keywords. What you then need to consider are things like blog posts, because not only do they give additional information about what you do as a business and or news about the business that you work in, but it also adds a bit of support to the category page. So there's a thing called topical relevance, and Google really look at that to understand whether you're an expert in your particular field. And so what you then do is you look at your service page, the category page that you've built, cornerstone type of article about that product. You're the expert, so go into depth about that item, that service, or what have you. You're the expert, so you should be able to write the best article for that service or product. And then what you do, you might have supporting content, so specific questions about that service or things that other people want to know about that service that you might not be able to fit into the article, the main article itself, or expanding on an area of that. Okay, things like frequently asked questions. If you search your main product on Google, there's a number of people also ask. Those people also ask questions might be revolving around the price. How much is it to do this? How much is it to do that? What's the cost of this? People are concerned about the pricing and they want to know more about the pricing. So do a number of articles about the pricing, or have a pricing page where you can list out all of your pricing for your particular services and have it linked back to that main article. Okay, having internal links and referencing certain things which are relevant to that particular service really does help Google understand more about what you're trying to offer, and gives clues and gives signals to Google to say, this is the page that I want to rank, these are the services that I want to talk more about, and this is what I'm an expert in. Google will naturally rank you for those keywords, and people will obviously start finding those for those keywords. If you do that well across a series of services or a selection of products, you then rank for more and more. And this is something that you can't really do overnight. It's an ongoing thing. Plan it out in the way in which is manageable for you based on the resources that you've got, but also plan it out in a way that is most profitable for you. So think about the services that you do and think about the most profitable services that you provide, and then maybe work on those keywords related to those services. Okay, so if you're a plumber, rather than having a page about how I fix leaky taps or faucets, you might have a page about putting in or installing new heating systems. They are clearly higher in value and got greater profit options or opportunities for you. Do that page before you start doing the incremental pages. That's not to say that the incremental, like low cost jobs are less valuable in terms of getting traffic. They are. It's important for you to include those types of pages, but when you're first starting out, think about the things that you want to get inquiries for. They're often the more profitable items that you can rely on to grow your business. So start there, and really that's probably the long and the short of it. It's very, very simple, very, very straightforward. Just understanding your business, your industry, and identifying the keywords that are most likely for you to actually compete within are the best ways you can start. And then once you grow your authority, as you get more and more traffic on the internet, and Google will provide you with that, you can then start looking for more competitive keywords. Okay? I hope that's helped. Get in contact with me if you need any further help.